Friends, this is the reading I did, and I'm going to share it. It was going to be a last ask the cards type of a thing, but it's a little kind of important because the issue I'm seeing a lot of times is that people can be very reckless with tarot and dangerous. And what I mean by that is they can totally destroy a relationship of somebody because they don't ask the right questions. So somebody's going to come to them and says, they're in a bad relationship and they want to know how they deal with a toxic partner in their life, right? And when you look at the first three cards, these are actually the three cards I pulled. It talks about how you got to pull back all support because everything is just always very toxic and chaotic. And that even though the emotions were there, they overrun sometimes. You see how it pairs up with the Five of Swords. And it just always cuts like a knife. And no matter what happens, you got to slow down and basically pull back, stop talking. Because if you don't, then what happens is that things just keep getting worse. And so when you look at it like that, the Page of Cups is in the past. So the new emotions have finally faded in a sense. And because they weren't really maybe found on a solid grounding, because the Five of Swords is always around contention, like a trauma bond situation, maybe, or something like that. But what kind of kept things going, they kept doing things, moving things forward. And so it was a relationship that felt like it may be based on not truths, more like past trauma. All right. That's one way of looking at it. And then how the question that followed up was like, well, then should they leave? And this is where it gets dangerous because with these cards here, it's saying like, the Page of Wands is all about a new relationship, a new desire, because you want new emotional fulfillment. And so you see that how you have here is the 9. It's telling you don't put your energy into this. So even though it was stable at one time and it worked out, it's time for something new because the old is no longer there. You have the stability, something got in the middle, broke it, and rather than working on it, because you don't know how, because it's always been this 5 toxicness nature, it's time to maybe find something new that makes you happy again, right? So therefore, the querent would be like, yep, time for breakup, but no, it's not, because I said, let's pull one more set of cards, and the question would be then, how do you salvage this? How do you work on it to grow it again? And that's where these 3 cards came into place, okay? And when you look at them here, you can't always look at them for the key word, right? And so this is Marseille, in case you don't know. And I kind of went ahead of myself on this little reading to share with you. The Queen's in upside down. So it's really kind of saying to you, is like not find something new, is stop the sexual desire so you can work on reestablishing yourselves to find harmony, to find that balance and peace, because the stability is still there. The 4 coins in the middle. So you have stability, but each of you have to then have new ways to remake that work. How? Hangman. Not surrendering, looking at things completely different, looking to the future, but doing things differently. So rather than having sex, for example, maybe to cure something, you find new ways to connect at a personal level to fix the broken bond. Because before, when you go up here again, you're always chasing something new together. And even though the emotions were there, they were kind of like not solid. So it always turned into a fight. 5 of Swords. All turned to this chaos and contention. 5s of struggle, okay? And so this new thing, the Knight of Coins here, moving forward very slow, methodically, trying to find a new thing, but every time something came up, boom, you hit something, fight, right? And then the emotions took over and just scorched earth. So then you think to yourself, I need to leave, because this is, a lot of people say, well, new desire, since the relationship is about sex, somebody new to bring you happiness. Well, that's the way of looking at it. And it's kind of like you're at the 9 here, so you've already took it as far as you could go, and there's nothing left. That's the modern way. That's the mentality of today in 2026. Everybody wants to quit, take the easy way out, and not work on shit, right? And to me, it's ridiculous, because was it really toxic because of one person or because both you guys couldn't get along? Because you have 2 sides in this 5 with one sword in the middle. And that one sword's always on defense by both sides. See, so you both have to make a decision to make it work or not. So instead of like bonding on maybe things that were traumatic, You need to bond on something new by looking at things totally differently. So when you shift down here to the question, how do you make it work? Not give up. Is it even worth it? And the answer is yeah, because if you can like not turn to sex, because here you're seeing that type of energy, if you're saying no, don't turn to that. Instead, look at things in a new way. And she's looking here. She's saying, and make it stable. So your future then grows because you're not doing the same shit over and over and over again. But again, if people aren't really willing to make a change on both sides, then yeah, it is game over. But I believe that if you work on it, talk through it, do things differently, break the patterns and the cycles, what happens? You have growth. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick tutorial on how to use Marseille and also how to be careful when reading tarot, because too many people I see will stop here because that's the way of modern age, right? It's always one person or other person's fault. Rather than saying, hey, why don't you work on it and both knock your shit off and get your act together, they don't do that because it's all about on YouTube. What's it about? Likes and clicks and viewership. So tarot not being used how it's supposed to be. This is a tool to salvage something. It's showing you the flaws. It's showing you the desire, but only if you're willing to work on it will it change. But that's something you have to do. You're in the middle, right? But nobody wants to do the hard work. They want the easy way out, the hookup culture. Well, I say that's bullshit. I say it can be saved if you're willing to look at things differently. You as in both, not just one person, two people, because here, two coins, four in the middle. Stability is there only if you choose to look at things differently and bring in new potential to the relationship by doing things in a way you did not used to do. All right. Anyway, that's all I have. That's what I got. And if you enjoyed this little quick tutorial, become a member at wordofthetwist.com and join me in the tarot journey. All right. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Bye now.